Hi everybody, Dan Illman here, taking a look at one of two graded stakes races carded for turf at Gulfstream Park on Saturday. The Grade 2 Fort Lauderdale Stakes is race number 11. Our stakes preview is presented by DRF Bets. If you sign up right now to DRF Bets, great deal. $200 free bet, no deposit required. All you have to do is go to drf.com/join and use the promo code FREEBET09. Let's take a look at this field for the Fort Lauderdale, and there is going to be a strong and deserving favorite in the speedy and talented number 3 Heart to Heart, who's coming into this race off 7 consecutive triple-digit buyer efforts. He has earned $1.3 million in his career, and he won the Fort Lauderdale way back in 2016. Heart to Heart's best game is speed, and Heart to Heart's a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde story. When he gets the lead, no matter how fast he goes, especially at Gulfstream Park where he is 4 for 5, he puffs out his chest, he feels great about himself, and he just goes on and usually runs a winning race. Now when you throw some other speed at him, and he's unable to get the lead, or his jockey is forced to rate him off for the pace, it's a bit of a different story. Heart to Heart still runs well, but maybe not well enough to justify a short price. So we'll throw up the Timeform US Pace Projector to see, will Heart to Heart get the lead? And as we see from the projector, the number 3 Heart to Heart is expected to get the lead. And while that red fast pace bar might indicate that he could get a little bit late in the stretch, we've seen it in the past. Heart to Heart at this distance over this course against this kind of company has the ability to go to the front, set fast fractions, and keep on going. He is way, way, way the horse to beat. There are some horses in this race with a little bit more recency coming out of the Grade 3 Tropical Turf at Gulfstream Park on December the 16th. Shakamat won that race. I think a lot of handicappers, if you ask them who they would want out of the Tropical Turf, they'd say they'd want Todd Pletcher's All Included. And I think the reason was race shape. You go back to the Tropical Turf, and if you recall, there wasn't a lot of pace on paper. They went very slow, 49-3 after a 25-second opening quarter, and Shakamat got a great ride. He was able to just take control from the other pace setter on the turn, and the closers really didn't have much of a chance. A closer that included All Included, who was making his first start off of a long layoff. And when you look at All Included's company lines and past performances, his 3 fastest races, 2 of them coming at Gulfstream Park, have come in his second start off the layoff for trainer Todd Pletcher. So with a little bit more pace, with a race under his belt, All Included might be able to turn the tables not only on Shakamat, but on Heart to Heart if Heart to Heart is softened up early. He is an interesting horse. Getting to Shakamat real quickly, a lot of folks again are going to believe that the reason he won last time out, and they might very well be right, is because he had an easy pace up front, and there's no way he's getting the lead with Heart to Heart in this race. I'll counter by saying that the Keeneland graduate Shakamat is just an improved horse, and a horse that always has had a lot of potential and is finally reaching that potential. Remember that he was a stakes winner as a 2-year-old, a graded stakes winner as a 3-year-old, and something just went off for him. Roger Atfield's horses have all been running well at Gulfstream Park, and I think Shakamat in this race is going to park himself just off the leaders, Heart to Heart and Shining Copper, and once again try to get the jump on All Included. We'll see if Shakamat's form is simply all dressed up by circumstances, but I think he'll be a playable price in here, and he is somewhat of an interesting upsetter. Shining Copper is the number 5, and we remember Shining Copper from his days when he was with Michael Maker and was actually a rabbit in the Grade 1 United Nations, and he only got beat a length and 3/4, and it showed everybody, well, he's really not a rabbit anymore. He did some good things for Chad, but Michael Maker got him back, and this is a horse who's just fired big in his last 2 races. Won over yielding ground, and we've had some wet weather at Gulfstream over the last few days. There might be some give on the ground that could help Shining Copper. It is worth noting, we talk about Shakamat benefiting from circumstance last time out. Shining Copper benefited, I thought, from just an easy, uncontested lead in his last 2 races, and it's hard to imagine that circumstance replicating itself with Heart to Heart breaking to his inside. I wonder if Shining Copper will be as effective from off of the pace, and at 4 or 9-2 on the tote, I'm not sure. I want to find out. Keep an eye on Team Colors. Team Colors might be sort of the interesting closer in this race. Now, he's only 1 for 11 on turf. He's finished second twice as many times as he's won in his career, and he hasn't won a race on the turf since September of 2015. But this is a horse who last time out, when Shining Copper just waltzed on the lead in the River City Handicap, he was trying to come from next to last, and he made a big run to only lose by 2 lengths. I think this horse is in sneaky form, and he's going to get some pace, and best yet, he'll be a bigger price than his fellow closer All Included. A horse that, as we said, does well second off the layoff, but might be getting a little bit long in the tooth as he's aged. And he's battled some injuries as well. Maybe Team Colors is a horse that can liven up your exotics at the very least. Diamond Bachelor is a horse that occasionally outruns his odds, but he usually does so when he's able to get an easy lead against weaker company. Again, hard to imagine any horse in this race faster than Heart to Heart early. Diamond Bachelor might simply be up against it. The same goes for One Go All Go, who's a horse that's certainly outran his odds in the past. He's earned $354,000 in his career, but Scooter Dickey was willing to lose him for $50,000 last time out, and he got beat in that optional claiming race after getting to the front. He's another horse that likes to be forward, and I think he's just in a little bit too tough. And talk about being in a little bit too tough. The horse on the rail, Summer Causeway, just looks like a simple rank outsider. He's 1 for 23 lifetime. His last time he ran on turf, and he's 0 for 14 on the surface, he was just buried. He was 123 to 1 in a maiden race. Imagine what it'll be in the Fort Lauderdale. Heart to Heart is way the horse to beat in this race. As we take a look at my pick, I'm going to take a very small stab. I think I'm going to zig while the crowd zags. The crowd's going to go to All Included. And again, I don't have much argument because Shakamat did have an easy time on the pace last time out. I'm hoping that Shakamat is starting to reach his potential. I would take 5 or 6 to 1 at final odds time with him. I would go 8, 3, 5, and 6 in the $200,000 Grade 2 Fort Lauderdale, but I certainly have to use Heart to Heart in any kind of multiple race wagers, and you might want to include All Included in Team Colors underneath in your single race exotics. Again, if you're playing the Gulfstream Saturday card from home, and it is a good one, please sign up to DRF Bets. $200 free bet. No deposit required. drf.com/join is where you need to go. And when you sign up, please use the promo code FREEBET09. Approximate post time for the Fort Lauderdale, a Grade 2 featuring Heart to Heart, 5 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. Good luck.